Hello, and I am at Leighton Buzzard. That's 86259 Cumbria Mountain Express. That's from Acton Lane Reception Sidings to Rugby CS. So today we'll be seeing services by Avanti West Coast, and here is one. That's from Preston to London Euston, London Northwestern Railway, and hopefully some freight as well. And this is now leaving. I will be going into the station, but I just wanted to record this first. So, let's spot some trains. The next train to pass by is going to be an Avanti West Coast class 390 Pendolino from Manchester Piccadilly to London Euston. (39126). The next train to pass by is an Avanti West Coast class 390 Pendolino. (390.002), and that's from from London Euston to Manchester Piccadilly. The next train to pass by is an Avanti West Coast class 390 Pendolino from London Euston to Edinburgh Waverley. (390.043). Okay. Now arriving is the 1310 London Northwestern Railway service from London Euston to Northampton, 352.49. And here is the London Northwestern Railway service from Crewe to London Euston. (352.39 and 351.14). I've no clue why that's running on a slow line. Okay, that is the London Northwestern Railway service from London Euston to Crewe. Let's just pass by. Couldn't get any of the numbers for it. Okay, that is the Avanti West Coast service from Manchester Piccadilly to London Euston. Again, I couldn't get numbers. Now departing is the 1314 London Northwestern Railway service from London Euston to Northampton. 351.18 is on the rear. The next train to arrive is going to be the 1319 London Northwestern Railway service from Milton Keynes Central to London Euston. 354.04. (350.104), and something is on the rear. Now passing by is the Avanti West Coast service from Wolverhampton to London Euston. Now departing is the 1321 London Northwestern Railway service from Milton Keynes Central to London Euston. (351.26) is on the rear. The next train to pass by is an Avanti West Coast class 390. (391.55) in the full Avanti West Coast livery, and that's from London Euston to Manchester Piccadilly. And as you can see, I've moved down the platform a bit, so hopefully I can get a better view. Okay, now arriving is the 1324 London Northwestern Railway service from Birmingham New Street to London Euston. 352.41 will be leading. Now departing is the 1325 London Northwestern Railway service from Birmingham New Street to London Euston. .240 is on the rear. That was 390.112 from London Euston to Birmingham New Street. The next train to pass by is going to be an Avanti West Coast pair of 2-1 Super Voyagers from Birmingham New Street to London Euston. Two to 1 114 and 2 to 1 118. The next train to pass by is an Avanti West Coast class 390 Pendolino from London Euston to Liverpool Lime Street. The next train to pass by is an Avanti West Coast class 390 Pendolino from London Euston to Glasgow Central. 390.117 Blue Peter. The next train to pass by is an Avanti West Coast class 390 Pendolino from Liverpool Lime Street to London Euston. 390.010. The next train to pass by is going to be a London Northwestern Railway lot of class 350s from London Euston to Birmingham New Street. 350.237 and 350.259. The next train to pass by is going to be an Avanti West Coast class 390. 390.156 in the full livery is going to be from Manchester Piccadilly to London Euston. The next train to pass by is going to be an Avanti West Coast class 390 Pendolino from London Euston to Manchester Piccadilly. 390.104 Alstom Pendolino. Now arriving is the 1344 London Northwestern Railway service from London Euston to Milton Keynes Central. 350.261 350.130 and 350.247. The 1346 London Northwestern Railway service from London Euston to Milton Keynes Central is now departing. Okay, now passing by is going to be the Avanti West Coast class 390 Pendolino from London Euston to Birmingham New Street. 390.153. The next train to pass by is going to be an Avanti West Coast class 390 Pendolino from Birmingham New Street to London Euston. 39118. The next train to pass by is going to be from Daventry DRS Tesco to Perfect Deep WTR WF FLT. That was 66302 for direct rail services. The next train to pass by is going to be an Avanti West Coast class 390 Pendolino. (390-141) from London Euston to Manchester Piccadilly. The next train to pass by is going to be a London Northwestern Railway lot of class 350s. 350-263, 350-267, and the Avanti West Coast service was from London Euston to Preston, and that's from Crewe to London Euston. The next train to pass by is going to be an Avanti West Coast class 390 Pendolino from Glasgow Central to London Euston. (390-047). (350-244) and 350-102, and they're going to be going from London Euston to Crewe. The next train to pass by is going to be a GBRF pairing of class 47s from Ilford EMUD to Northampton EMD. (47-749), 360-109 and 47-727. Next train to arrive is going to be the 1415 London Northwestern Railway service from London Euston to Northampton. Being worked by a triple header of class 350 Desiros, 350-264, (350-120), and I'll get the rear on departure. Now departing is the 1417 London Northwestern Railway service from London Euston to Northampton. (350-117) is on the rear. And now about to pass by is going to be (390-135) from Wolverhampton to London Euston. The next train to pass by is going to be an Avanti West Coast service from Manchester Piccadilly to London Euston. (390-006). And that's 390-128. Now arriving is the 1421 London Northwestern Railway service from Milton Keynes Central to London Euston. And the previous Avanti West Coast service was from London Euston to Manchester Piccadilly. And never mind, this is actually from Birmingham New Street to London Euston. 35127 is going to be leading. That was 39115 from London Euston to Birmingham New Street. And now departing is the 1423 London Northwestern Railway service from Birmingham New Street to London Euston. Nice tone there. .35403 is on the rear. Now arriving is going to be the 1426 London Northwestern Railway service from Milton Keynes Central to London Euston. .35247. .35130, and I'll get the rear on departure. Now departing is the 1427 London Northwestern Railway service from Milton Keynes Central to London Euston. .35261 is on the rear. The next train to pass by is going to be an Avanti West Coast class 390 Pendolino from Birmingham New Street to London Euston. 390,008. And that is 39151 from London Euston to Glasgow Central. Next train to pass by is going to be an Avanti West Coast class 390 Pendolino from Liverpool Lime Street to London Euston. 39134. The next train to pass by is going to be an Avanti West Coast class 390 Pendolino from from Manchester Piccadilly. 390,040, and that's from Manchester Piccadilly to London Euston. And the next train to pass by is going to be a London Northwestern Railway service from London Euston to Birmingham New Street. 35114 and 35239. The next train to pass by is going to be an Avanti West Coast class 390. 390,046, and that's from London Euston to Manchester Piccadilly. Now arriving is the 1445 London Northwestern Railway service from London Euston to Milton Keynes Central. 35256. 35235 in the British Transport Police livery. And 35119. And down there is an Avanti West Coast class 390 Pendolino, and that's from Birmingham New Street to London Euston. Now departing is the 1447 London Northwestern Railway service from London Euston to Milton Keynes Central. The next train to pass by is going to be an Avanti West Coast Class 390 Pendolino from Manchester Piccadilly to London Euston. (390-129). Next train to pass by is going to be an Avanti West Coast Class 390 Pendolino from London Euston to Crewe. (390-156). Next train to pass by is going to be an Avanti West Coast Class 390 Pendolino from London Euston to Manchester Piccadilly. (390-009). Now arriving is the 1501 London Northwestern Railway service from Northampton to London Euston. (350-249). Now departing is the 1502 London Northwestern Railway service from Northampton to London Euston. (350-118) is trailing. That was 352.53 and 352.51 from Crewe to London Euston, and here is (2-1-118) and 2-1-114, and they're from London Euston to Edinburgh Waverley. So I'm going to end off the video here. If you did enjoy it, please make sure to like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment if you wish and I'll try to respond to it, and join my Discord server if you want to talk to me and my fans. So thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.